Greetings, fellow learners. Welcome to IziCodeCraft. Let's turn our experiences into lessons. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and join the journey. Today we are going through all the installations. We are going to set up our development environment and installing Google Chrome. So, let's start with it. If you're already using macOS, Ubuntu, or an official flavor of Ubuntu and have Google Chrome installed, you can skip this lesson. Since we are using Windows, we are going to follow along with the instructions here, to avoid any issues later. Since we already had some overviews in past videos, in this case we are going directly to the installation's practical side. We are going through the virtual machine setup option. Step number 1 is to download VirtualBox and Xubuntu. First, to download VirtualBox, just click this link. And then, download VirtualBox for Windows hosts. It's downloading now. So let's go to the next step. Now, to download Xubuntu, we need to visit the Xubuntu download page. They recommend that we download the 22.04 version. It should be the long-term support, LTS version 22.04, also called Jammy Jellyfish. But, I think this is an already prepared mirror, so let's open this. Yeah, and now we need to choose the .iso file. Okay, now it's downloading. So, I will cut here and I will get back once the download of the Xubuntu image is fully finished, so we can continue with the next installation steps. Next, step number 2. Install VirtualBox and set up Xubuntu. So first, we will install VirtualBox. We'll double-click the downloaded VirtualBox file to start the installation process. Installing VirtualBox should be easy and with the same steps as installing any other program on your Windows PC. Okay, now we click Next. Here they say that we need to disable the Python support feature, so let's disable that. Click the drive icon with an arrow and select Entire feature will be unavailable. This will make the installation quicker and lighter. Now, just click Next. Then, proceed with the installation now? Yes. And then, install. Okay, so just let me confirm. And yeah, it's just to disable the Python support feature, and the rest should be just follow the installation prompts. So, let's click Install. And, that's it, pretty simple. Step 2.2. Prepare the VirtualBox for Xubuntu. Let's launch the VirtualBox app that we just installed. And then, click the New button to create a new virtual operating system. We'll give it a name. It can be Xubuntu, for example. Then we select the directory that we want to install or create this VM. In this case, I wanted a custom location. If not, you can leave it in the C location. Just ensure that you have at least 30 gigabytes of space wherever you are going to place this VM. In the ISO image section, we'll choose Other, and we are going to select the Xubuntu ISO image we downloaded. So let's go to that same location and select it. The type and version were defined automatically, based on the image we provided, and it's saying that this OS type can be installed unattendedly, and that's what we are going to do, so leave that unselected and just click Next. So, just to confirm, just showing the Odin Project screen, and that's what they said here on the instructions. To leave the skip unattended installation the way it is. And here's the next step, I guess. The unattended guest OS install setup. So, let's click Next. I'm going to define my username and password here. And I think we are just going to leave those additional options the way they are. Okay, just check their instructions, and we need to check the install in background option and the guest additions too. I remember that the last time I did this type of VM installation, I went with a manual setup and this guest additions can be confusing to install in Ubuntu, so the way it's set up here, it's way easier and better to avoid any type of issue. So, let's click Next. Now, on the hardware configuration. They say that we should ideally use 4 GB if possible. The upper limit should be half of your total RAM, so I could go up till 8 GB, but I will define 4096 MB as the base memory, as they mentioned. I think that's sufficient for now for a good, smooth experience. And on the processors, they advise to use 2 and to leave the Enable EFI option unchecked. Virtual hard disk. So, at this point, leave all the settings as they are except for the disk size. Make sure to allocate at least 30 GB of space to the VM. Remember, this disk will be created in the folder you specified at the start of the VM creation process. Don't worry if you need more space later on. The disk can be moved and resized as needed. Now, click Next. Okay, it shows a summary. Make sure all of this is correct. And then we can click Finish, and it should start with the installation. Okay, everything seems good. So, I will click Finish. Now we can see that the VM was created here on the left, and that it's running. We can see in this preview section how the machine is running and what is showing on its screen. We could probably click Show and that would open a new window with the machine opened. But, the goal here is to let the operative system to install on the background and leave the system make that startup setup by itself, so we don't need to handle any of that for now. Maybe this will take a while, so I will get back when the preview section shows a login screen, and we can go on the rest of the setup instructions. Okay, we're back. Here's the login screen. I will enter my password and we can go on with the next step. And that is the step number 3. Setting correct sudo permissions. And to do that, we need to navigate to Users and Groups. So, click on the menu button on the top left of your window, type Users, and we should see Users and Groups show up. Click on it. Now, we need to click on Manage Groups. Then in the window that shows, we'll want to click anywhere in the list and then type sudo on our keyboard to quickly find the sudo entry. Then here, click Add. Oh, it's asking for a password. Let me confirm this step details, just to make sure I'm following exactly what they say. Okay, I'm reading here. So, with sudo selected, we need to click Properties and in the window that shows, tick our username and then click OK. And we will enter our password when prompted. And this password is the same that we set up before for our user. I'm going to check if there's a difference showing when I click Properties again. It just shows the username selected now. Next, reboot the VM. To do that, I'm going to open a terminal window by pressing the Ctrl, Alt and T keys. And now I'll type Reboot, then press Enter. Alternatively, you can click on the whisker menu, select the power icon, and choose a Restart as well. The next step is to test your newly gained sudo privileges. Once the machine restarts and you log in, open the terminal. Then run sudo apt update and then sudo apt upgrade. Let's wait for it to start. I'll type my password to login. And now, let's run those commands. First, sudo apt update. Enter your password when prompted. Note that the terminal does not display password characters for security reasons, as we went through before. And then, sudo apt upgrade. It will ask if you want to continue with the update installation. Just type Y for yes, and click Enter. And what those commands will do is update Xubuntu. Okay, we can leave that installing, and I'll come back once it finishes. And the next step is, understand your new VM. Okay, so we went through this before. I think it only asks us to enable the toolbar in our VM settings. We can do that now. And to do that, we need to go to the VirtualBox application, click Settings. Then go to the user interface, and check the Show at Top of Screen. This is related with the VM toolbar. It is helpful to change to full screen, enabling or disabling the guest editions drive that would be needed to install it manually, for example. Those kind of things. Next we have some frequent issues and questions that might arise. If you have any question as well, please leave a comment on this video and let me know. And the next step is to understand how we can safely shut down the VM. Not sure if I already showed it throughout the setup, but we have 3 options. Shut down from inside the VM, by going on the menu button and click Logout, and then shut down. We can shut it down from inside the VM with the terminal by typing power off and clicking enter. And we can shut it down from outside the VM. I think that's what I use most of the times, clicking on the X to close the VM window, and it will open a new window asking you how do you want to close it. By saving the machine state or sending the shutdown signal or power off the machine. The option I choose is the send the shutdown signal. It's the same thing as the power off the machine by going to the menu button and clicking log out and then shut down. In here it even asks the expected question on the machine as if we clicked on the log out button on the UI, so we have the option to choose here as well. But usually it would shut down the machine. The save the machine state option will save the machine as it is, so it kinda can be looked at as if you click suspend in the UI. It will maintain the browser or any other application opened. The power off the machine is the same as if you would take out the plug or force the shutdown by holding the power button in your computer. With that we finished the VM setup. Now, the next thing would be the Google Chrome installation. Why Google Chrome? Because our lessons use Google Chrome, and Chrome/Chromium are overwhelmingly used by developers and consumers. The recommendations we make are very intentional. Look at this usage share of web browsers and see what other folks are using the most. Using the same browser ensures consistency and avoids potential issues that might arise from browser-specific quirks. Choose your operating system. Since we are using Xubuntu, we need to choose Linux here. Step 1. Download Google Chrome. Open the terminal, and run this command to download the latest Google Chrome.deb package. Make sure you have a stable internet connection as the download can be sizable. Copy and paste keyboard shortcuts. You have probably noticed that the common keyboard shortcut, Ctrl-V to paste something, doesn't work in the terminal. In order to paste your text input into your terminal, you can use Ctrl, Shift and V keyboard shortcut combination instead. It is also very handy to know that the Ctrl, Shift C keyboard combination will copy any highlighted text from your terminal, which can then be pasted later. These shortcuts are essential for efficient terminal navigation and will save us a lot of time. So, let's copy the command and paste it into the terminal. So, I wasn't recording the screen, but this copy and paste wasn't working at first. I had to go here on the toolbar. Click Devices, then Shared Clipboard and select Bidirectional, and I did the same on Drag and Drop. The shared clipboard is for the copy and paste to work between the machines. I select bidirectional so that we can copy from the host to the guest and from the guest to the host. The drag and drop is for any file moving between the machines. It's optional. I changed it to bidirectional as well. Now, on pasting the command, it shows a warning message saying, pasting this text to the terminal may be dangerous as it looks like some commands may be executed, potentially involving root access, sudo. But it's just a warning message. In this case we have confidence on the origin of the command as it is from the Odin Project, so we can run it without problems. Okay, I will let the download complete and I will get back once it finishes. Okay, we're back. Let's go to the next step. Step 2. Install Google Chrome. Enter the following command in your terminal to install Google Chrome.deb package. Enter your password, if needed. Make sure to carefully type the command or paste it using the shortcut mentioned above to avoid errors. A note on typing passwords in the terminal. When using a command in the terminal that requires you to enter your password for authentication, such as sudo, you will notice that the characters aren't visible as you type them. While it might seem like the terminal isn't responding, don't worry. This is a security feature to protect confidential information, like how password fields on websites use asterisks or dots. By not displaying the characters you write, the terminal keeps your password secure. You can still enter your password as normal and press enter to submit it. This might feel a bit odd at first, but it's a common security measure to protect your password. We will copy and paste again to run the command. Okay, I need to type my password. And I will fast forward the video here a bit if needed. Oh, it got an error, I guess. The file couldn't be accessed by user and permission denied. Oh, okay, this is documented here. You might see a notice starting with N. Download is performed unsandboxed, etc. You don't need to worry about it. You can read a Reddit post for more information. Let's see. They're saying that this is not an error, that the N at the beginning of the sentence means that it's just a notice, like an information thing only. So, if you want to read all of this post to understand more about it, just click on that link so you can check it. I will proceed with the next steps. Step 3. Delete the installer file. Cleaning up after installations helps keep your system organized and frees up disk space. So, let's copy and run this command there. And then the other step is to open Google Chrome. We can open it through the Applications menu or run Google Chrome in the terminal to open the app from there. So, let's run these commands. First, remove the installer file. And now, opening Google Chrome. I don't want to sign in right now. And yeah, that's it. Those were all the installations needed for the Odin Project virtual machine setup. See you on the next video. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content like this.